So let's talk about Zcash. It's one of the biggest names in privacy coins, but right now the project is in absolute turmoil. A bombshell just dropped that has sent some serious shockwaves through the community and the market, and it's raising some pretty big questions about its future. So what on earth is going on? Let's get into it. And boom, this is the immediate fallout. A massive 26% price drop in just a single week. That is a huge hit. And, this isn't just your typical Tuesday in crypto. This isn't random market noise. There is a very, very specific reason for this crash. And here's the kicker. The Electric Coin Company, or ECC, the core team, the people who actually build Zcash, they've walked away. And I don't mean they lost a few key players. I mean the entire team. The whole shebang, gone, pretty much overnight. All right, so how did we even get to this point? This sudden exit is really the epicenter of this whole crisis. And it all seems to boil down to a major fight over governance and who's really in control. You can circle this date on your calendar. January 7th, 2026. That's the day the dam broke. The whole ECC team resigned all at once. This wasn't some planned, phased-out transition. Nope. It was an abrupt, clean break. It's like pulling the engine out of a car while it's still driving down the highway. So why did they all leave? Well, we don't really have to guess. The ECC's CEO, Josh Sweetheart, he laid it out pretty clearly. He said that things the board did made it impossible for his team to do their jobs with any kind of independence or responsibility. And he used some really specific language here, constructive discharge. Now, that's not just corporate jargon. It's a legal term, and it's a big deal. It basically means the work environment was changed so dramatically that the team felt they were being forced out. It's like saying, you didn't officially fire us, but you made it impossible for us to stay. Okay, so you have this massive internal drama. The core developers feel like they've been pushed out. How do you think the market's going to react? Well, as you can probably guess, the financial fallout was fast and it was brutal. I mean, just look at this. The price of Zcash, ZEC, basically fell off a cliff. We're talking from around $432 all the way down to $378 in a week. That is the look of confidence just evaporating into thin air. And if you want to put that price drop in terms of total value, over $2.1 billion in market cap was just wiped out. That is a staggering amount of money. And it shows you just how seriously investors took this news. So let's just recap the damage, right? The price is down around 26% in 7 days. Over $2 billion in market cap has vanished, and now the coin is trading at nearly half of its recent high. This is way, way more than a correction. It is a full-blown crisis of confidence. But hold on. Here's where the story gets a little more nuanced. Because while the narrative is all about chaos and collapse, the actual underlying technology, well, that's telling a very different story. Let's do a quick reality check. And this really captures that split perfectly. On one side, you've got the story everyone's talking about, right? The governance crisis, nobody knows the roadmap, investors are panicking. But on the other side, the actual network itself, it's just chugging along. Blocks are being produced, transactions are going through, the protocol is working just fine. And this is the absolute key point to understand. The fear isn't that Zcash is technically broken right now. It's not. The system works. The real multi-billion-dollar question is about tomorrow. Who is steering the ship? Without its main developers, who's going to build the future of the project? So does this mean the whole idea of privacy crypto is toast? Is everyone just giving up on it? Not so fast. To really get what's happening, we got to zoom out a bit and look at the rest of the market. This comparison is super revealing. So you see Zcash down 26%. Another project, Midnight, saw a similar hit. But then look over at Monero, probably the best-known privacy coin. It actually gained over 8% in the same time frame. What does that tell you? It tells us that the market is being really specific here. It's not freaking out about privacy as a concept. It is punishing this project, Zcash, for its internal project-specific risk. This sell-off is about a crisis inside Zcash, not some big rejection of privacy tech as a whole. All of this leaves Zcash standing at a massive crossroads. The tech is solid, but the leadership is gone. You could say the project is facing its biggest challenge ever. If they're going to recover from this, they've got a huge mountain to climb. First up, they somehow have to restore confidence with investors and their community. Then they have to create a totally new, totally clear governance structure.
And finally, they've got to come up with a compelling vision for where the project goes from here.
And that brings us right back to the one question that's hanging over everything. With the original team gone, who is going to step up and guide Zcash's future? Right now, that is a very open and a very, very expensive question.
And before we wrap up, you know the drill. This is all just for educational purposes. It is absolutely not financial advice. The crypto markets are incredibly volatile, so you must always do your own research before making any decisions. You know, the whole situation with Zcash is such a powerful reminder that in this decentralized world, the code is only part of the story. Governance and leadership are absolutely critical. So the biggest takeaway from all this? Stay informed, not emotional.